How about now? Oh, you should hear me now. I think my mic was off. Can you hear me now? Yes, no? Sound now? Give me thumbs up if you can hear. Got it. Yeah, I think my mic was off. There we go. All right. So we're going to get into some shit today. Just play around for a little bit, a couple of hours. Remember Cash App, yo brother, make my day go right. $ brother Pan. In less than a month, my book signing will be in Atlanta. I'm gonna give out that information, so let's stay tuned for that. So save up for that. All right, we're gonna let it pile up to some folks. Give it some time. Everybody, this will not be a 5-hour situation. I am under the weather. We're gonna talk for a couple of hours, if that long. Shout out to Mr. T. Pity the fool. I pity the fool. All right. We at 348. Peace, Cosmegas. What up? What up? No, it won't, Sky Rockets. You hold on for that one. Afternoon Delight. I'm about to do a regular lecture. So that's where all that energy is going to go. I'm going to try to do it this weekend. Talk about a few things. Everybody. All right, let's let some folks jump in this joint. Let it go live, son. All right, all right, all right. Boom. Bam, 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 boom, boom. All right. All right. Just getting the word out. The bird, bird, bird. The bird's the word. The word. The bird, bird, bird. The bird's the word. Message. 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 All right. Okay, whatever. I'll say the bird, bird, birds. The bird's the word. Message. 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 Touring. All right. It's starting a little bit. We have to get into a few ideas. All right, y'all. We just give out this information. So here we go. Here's the new book. Just so y'all know, here's the old book. This is still on the website. You can still get this now. This has gone nowhere. Book number 1. This book is not out yet. Message. 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 But will be on August 6th. The 7 Laws of Dark Power. You want this thick puppy. You want this. Now that I let a few people read it, the reviews or the feedback that I'm getting, phenomenal. Phenomenal. I definitely learned from the first book. Woo! There's a T on hold it. How to deal with this book, which is thorough, very revealing, very to the point, very easy to read and deal with based upon me knowing now how to better serve you guys through writing. And that's what happened here. I actually wrote it in 2017. I was finished. Message. On my phone, sorry. I wrote it in 2017, and I already have an idea for something else I'm writing, but you got to have this in your life. So again, August 6th is the live book release, the live signing. I hope as many of you who can come, do come. I hope the ones who are on the fence make the decision to come. It will be a most memorable night. I think we start at 3 p.m. I'm going to turn that shit off in a second. We start at 3 p.m. We're going to go until about 10 p.m. at night. Pitches, book signing. I will speak on the book and maybe some other things. Khadija will be hosting, speaking all night. So it's going to be a hell of an affair. It is $25 to get in. Nothing to do with the book price. Once you're in, you get the book, you buy it, you get it signed. There's also our products will be signed, you know, I'm at the lectures. Those who've come to our live lectures before will have the same type of thing going on. But you want to get the 7 Laws of Power, Volume 2, Self-Mastered by Brother Panic. It is a must for your next level, I would say, of spirituality. I'm about teaching you. I don't have fans. I believe I have students. These other niggas are going for hits. I'm going for motherfucking freeing minds still. So I'm trying to stay true to the integrity of what this shit was all about. No matter how many motherfuckers want to try to sell you their rap album. First and foremost, information so people could find knowledge to power, and then you could buy a rap album on your own watch. So on August 6th, my latest rendition of giving you something that could be transformative and life-changing is coming forth in the way of this book. So you niggers, on August 6th, you want to come to 5380 East Mountain Street in Atlanta, GA 30083. 5380 East Mountain Street 30083 is the zip code for Georgia, Stone Mountain, Georgia. So it'll be in Stone Mountain, Georgia, August 6th. The name of the place is also called 5380 Studios. You can check them out to get any prerequisite information at 5380studios.com. You can reach out to them about their facility, about any concerns. They will not have information about the event. The only thing you would need to know about the event, there's plenty of hotel space if you need to stay. There is absolutely a lot of parking in the area and in the actual location. They have a parking lot. And just to show up at 3, the only other difference is depending on turnout. We did reserve an extra area, but let's pretend because most Black people haven't been anywhere in a while, and receiving this book is a worthy cause, because in the end, there'll be only one place you can receive it. I do not sell on Amazon. I do not eat them in a car. I do not eat them at a bar. I do not like green eggs and ham. So getting it signed live is kind of a big deal, I think. For the first book, my book, The Origins of Occult Civilization, Volume 1, Hollywood, I didn't do a book signing. I just released it online. I wasn't doing too many live lectures back then, so I didn't really care. So now, after years of live lectures, only derailed by COVID and back problems that I had, which, as you can see, I'm sitting much straighter before you see me doing a lot of this, because thanks to my girl Steph from Atlanta. If anybody need that type of services, she's a physical therapist. She's a massage therapist. And Khadijah were very cool. They went to massage school together. She's certified. She has her own location, but she does, because she's family, come to the house, and she's getting my ass back in order. So due to that and COVID, we've been a little bit light, but we're thinking about starting the lecture flow again. Certain states. I still don't feel I'm ready to sit for very long, insane periods of time. But as you can see, I've been doing 5 hours. So it's a plane ride. We'll see. But for now, there's plenty of states that are very close to me. So moving towards the future, we're looking towards having these live events happening again. Getting you back to teaching, as opposed to the bullshit. Yo, what's going on, Jazzy from the block? Jesse from the block. So to get you back in the mood of teaching, instead of these goddamn Love and Hip Hop dramatics that you've been experiencing for the last few years. I mean, it's so sad, and again, I'm going to just say, certain people who do teach keep integrity. But for the most part, monetizing got these niggas all fucked up, and that's clear. And what it did was take the study and make it seem like a fucking novelty. You know what I'm saying? All of this fucking debate and crap bullshit. For instance, I called it bullshit from day one. Now that it's turned out to be bullshit, what say you now? All of this goddamn philosophy that we would learn something and do something, that never works. An argument is an argument, is an argument, is an argument. Half the shit niggas is arguing, the philosophy of what they're arguing comes down to the law that what they're actually arguing goes against arguing, which is the law of polarity. There's two sides to every coin, therefore everything can have an argument. So therefore, can everything have an argument? Can anyone make an argument? Absolutely. So that seems like a real waste of time to use as a system, because you will never get to the bottom of anything. You tell me how you personally and anyone else who's listened to it changed sides after they heard it. You came to support and believe what you believe in. You want to see that argument won. So it was absolutely a government agent inspired or government agent provocateur whole action. And when you wipe it all away, because I personally believe I stick to the integrity, and look for those, and I unify, connect with those who have kept integrity. It was sad to see so many people who I thought had integrity just turn into some fucking cornball ass, or reveal themselves to be who they truly are. Everyone needs to make $1. That's the way this system is. But give them something for it. The only flaw I have, and I'm willing to admit it, is mailing this shit out. It is a slow process because it's coming from one place. here. And quite simply, my products are just that popular all across the world. If for no other reason, is because it's been 14, 15 years since I've been selling it. So, and there's nothing else like it. My herbs are a combination, a blend, not just mugwort. Mugwort is in the herb, but then there are at least 8 other ingredients that make it a herb pack that has been working so well for so many years for so many folks. So, with that being said, you know, it's up to you and your patience. I can't sell it to you like, go on, get it, because I'm that nigga. I can't. I can't front like that no more. I'm not here to lie or here to front. It takes a while to get this shit. It does. It does. It's the type of thing, but that's why I give you so many other things and have given you so many other things to do while you fucking wait. You should not be waiting for this to start your spirituality. This should be a tool to aid you. So it's going to show up in its time, and we send it out all the time. We send it out all the time. In fact, when you just heard the text, I don't know if you're able to tell, it says Torin calling. And most of you know over the years, my son is Torin. And most of you know over the years, Torin is the one that works for me since he was 14. He's almost 30 now. You understand what I'm saying? This shit has been going on for a while. Mr. T, you know what I'm saying? Mr. T is the man. I pity the fool. I know y'all see Mr. T. I pity the fool. I pity the fool. So like Courtney got me that. Courtney know what to get me in terms of my iconery. She also has got me my man right here. I hate to disturb him. And I better look at this. There's a lot of oil in there. A man, old Debba. Oh, so she also got me my man. She's giving me a lot of other things. So she got me my Mr. T for my birthday. Shout out to Courtney, the yoga master. So August 6th, Saturday. Come on, son. Come on. And you know something? What I'm going to do, I just thought of it now. We used to do it at the lectures, but we can do it again. Sunday, for those of you who are going to stay around, Khadijah and I will be offering live consultations, which means we'll just get a place. And if you sign up, we'll give you where we'll be at, a hotel, to do consultations, which is a question and answer with us. We'll do our consultations. So for those of you who are going to stay an extra day, we'll have a list to sign up for next day consultations. So Sunday, August 7th, if you're going to make a weekend of it, those of you who are, perhaps you want to sign up August 7th for our consultation. We don't charge much, of course. We never charge what others charge, but Khadijah knows that price. And I make sure it's pretty much low because you guys are making that trip and so on and so forth. But those who want a live consultations, not online too, that's not the point. If you want a consultation online, just go to Khadijah's site and you can do that right now. So joint consultations are on samdimassage.com. I'm sorry, samdireadings.com. That website is in the description. That's Khadijah's website. There you could get joint consultations and just get on the schedule, which isn't crazy. There's people who are, her readings are 3 months out, whatever it is, but she has a whole scheduling system. Our joints are not that crazy. So if you want one online, just go book. These are live. Me and Khadijah in a room with those who sign our list. If you look weird, you're not going to be called the next day. But for our folks, sure thing, we'll schedule it. And those who are going to spend that extra day, in Atlanta, or those who are even from Atlanta, Sunday we'll offer that joint consultation. And those are fire. So August 6th, 5380 East Mountain Street, 30083, which is Stone Mountain, GA, at 5380 Studios. Go to 5380studios.com. But there you're going to get this juicy motherfucker. I'm telling you, this is some shit, yo. 7 laws that you can constantly refer to whenever something is on your plate. So it's more of a system, a reference system that whatever you're dealing with, you can apply the concept of the 7 laws to stay within the framework of dark power, of what we call dark power, which we'll talk a little bit today with the subject Dark Philosophy 101, which we're going to be talking about really quick today. All right, we're at 6:54, and just so you know how consciousness has taken a hit, usually when I come on, we're at 2,000 by now. Real talk. People are just uninterested. But for the most part, I know something that I always said. Half those people weren't even interested in the shit in the first place. It was always around this number that were truly interested. Everybody else was just waiting for gossip, because if 3 people are doing the gossip bullshit and talking about it, you just listen to the other person to see if they're going to respond. You know, of course, I'm not that stupid. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, it doesn't mean they weren't tuning in to see it. And like anything, you don't have to be live. You can catch this later. So I guess people are getting a hint that this shit don't even mean nothing. So unless you make it mean something. And that's really always been the deal. They think that these people are supposed to mean something, myself included, supposed to mean something to you. Don't be a fucking moron. You're supposed to make this information mean something to you. And because niggas is lazy and ain't doing shit, ain't nothing happening for them. Just fucking want to sit around and suck dick all day. And it's fucking crazy because I don't need random people sucking my dick. I already did that in the 80s. Had motherfucker every hoe I can think of suck my dick. I don't need no hoes sucking my dick. Oh, you the greatest. I don't need no bitch ass niggas being no hoes. What I need you to do is pick up the fucking books I recommend. I did a fucking 2 book lists, each of them over 5 hours each. And it's the lowest numbers I've ever had on videos lately. Motherfuckers don't want to learn. Y'all want to just niggas to tell you something to make your life complete. Motherfuckers want a pep talk. You sons of bitches want a preacher. You sons of bitches want somebody just to keep telling you the same thing. If I say, ask me questions now, you want me to repeat shit that I already said in the lecture. Penny, talk about Baphomet, because you want to hear a sermon about Baphomet. You've been taught about it. If you want to learn about Baphomet, I got hours of information in one sitting on just that subject, or subjects that you want me to rehash. Fucking 18 hours sitting in one sitting. 18 hours on how did die not come back. You want to hear that same shit over and over because you want a sermon. You don't want to be taught. The teaching is Bobby Hemmett's philosophy was, I'm just recording everything. And if you watch his whole career, nothing was repeated. You'll see his actual alchemy, a transformation, because in his mind, once it was recorded and documented, you've had reference to the information. It has been revealed and put on the network. So me trying to adopt the mentality, thinking after all of these 13, well, shit, since 2004, really, get my ass in that good position of speaking. That leg, and showing that shit. And this chair ain't shit. Let me get this pillow. I don't want to sit on Mr. T's face. All right. course, my shorts don't match. Whew. Also, as Bobby Hemmett said, it's all about the shirts in lecturing, not about the pants. He said, you wear the same pants every lecture. Change your shirt, nigga. People will define your lectures by your shirts. Shit, you ain't lie. All right. So again, I'm out of energy lately because I'm recovering. So I got to go slow. So I'm going to start here with a simple book. There are many, but this one I find should be where most folks should start off. Not really giving props so much to the author, because I think once most authors come across the masters who dispense this information, it's real easy to write a book on the subject. Most of them become instant authors because you will see yourself, the information is easy to grasp because you're reading about something you have done or was done or you have observed your entire life. You just have not been aware of it. Dark Psychology 101 and books of this type, which I'll kind of give you the climate of, kind of make you aware of human behavior, your own behavior, how to not be manipulated by this human behavior and manipulate others by it for your gains. Hopefully, you have a good heart and the manipulation is for the betterment of both parties. But then maybe somebody needs that spiritual ass whipping that they so deserve. Somebody said internationally, UK, I wouldn't bet on it. I'm shit. As you can see, people in America having trouble getting their packages. One of the things I notice, and I keep saying it with my books, I get the most complaints because if you have a mailbox that's not big enough for books, I'll notice they'll come back. And then I started to realize if you live on the third floor, ain't no mailman walking that shit up if it don't fit in your box. So it depends on your mailman. It's just sometimes easy for them to say wrong address, no one was home, blah, 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 or whatever the fuck they write. It's always the same thing, but it's lazy mailbox syndrome. You know, garbage man don't want to pick up our boxes some days. Same shit, nigger shit. You know what I'm saying? So best I could do is send it out. That's all we do. Systematically. It's simply a simple system. They come in, they get warehoused in a folder. My son goes through that folder, creates the packages. Every package has a physical representation. Otherwise, from the web to a physical representation via envelope with instructions, address, and product. So we just fill them, pack them, send them out. It's a factory, but it just takes a while. We got to order products. They out of products. It's a story. I'm not trying to make excuses. So I'll tell you straight up. If you don't have patience, don't buy from me. You got patience, then you're in the right place. And, you know, like I said, I hope that you would get these products and have the patience for it because they really do help. In fact, you know what I'm saying? We're so busy because they do help, the products that I do. In fact, I streamlined to the most important. I even took products off just to catch up. You know what I'm saying? That's how dedicated I am to trying to get this to you, but it just is what it is sometimes. And again, if you have patience, you're in a good place. Occultlectures.com. Again, the new book will be up after August 6th on the site for those who couldn't make on to the book signing. You'll be able to get it after August the 6th online. So Dark Psychology 101, learn the secrets to convert emotional manipulation, dark persuasion, undetected mind control, mind games, deception, hypnotism, brainwashing, and other tricks of the trade. This one is by Michael Pace. I like this one because it's so to the point, and anyone who has not heard of the subject, this is a hellified introduction, because once you just look for dark psychology, you'll find book after book after book, this thick, 3 volumes. You want dark psychology, body language, face language, manipulation of I'm missing some. You want neuro-linguistic programming, you want mind control books, any of that subject. What you would do is find a climate of the most generic understanding of the human psyche that everyone holds to be true, in terms of the 7 things that all people want and need to function in their ego. And those 7 things are pretty much how most folks are manipulated. So you will find understanding those 7 things, where people are strong, where they're weak, and what they need. And this tells you the technique of facilitating those emotional needs that every person would need. Now, ultimately, in this best case scenario, you would use this in business and just to function at the doctor's office, just to get people to smile and get the services that you need smooth, stress-free, and unhinged. We're not necessarily talking about having niggas standing there doing this, you understand? But this is also the pathway to have niggas standing there doing this, than having an argumentative psychology of why they're defending any other person besides their own consciousness, and or any other individual who has the same stuff that they have. You can get down that route. So again, as I pointed out, it depends on what's in your heart. So what's in my heart is pretty much to move through without being darkly manipulated, to be aware of that which is in the dark side. That's what we doing. I would read dark psychology and write a book called The 7 Laws of Dark Power, because in the darkness is where the true self is actually running the show. The true self connected to your subconsciousness. What is subconsciousness? Well, what is consciousness? Not the slang that you're dealing with this information, just that you're aware. Subconsciousness is a subordinate awareness. That nickname is called the dark side. Your subordinate awareness is the dark side. Now, when you get into the occult, you're dealing with the power of that subordinate dark awareness, of how not only just to manipulate, how you can be manipulating to manipulate others, but there is a hidden culture, which is called occult, hidden culture that you could tap into for power, and it expands beyond just your ego and pulling yourself up by your bootstraps and your willpower to get shit done. So, Dark Psychology 101 is the study. We don't have to go through the book. This is where I suggest you start to get into that study, and why I feel so comfortable at telling you guys, because I think you are the guys who will get the books. Dark psychology is one of the most powerful forces in the world at work today. It is used by most of the powerful influencers the world has ever known. So let me say that again. Dark psychology has been used by the most powerful influencers the world has known. So what that statement alone means is that to truly get power, you must do this. This is not like something you doing while the others aren't doing. I guarantee you, when you understand this, your dumbest of Christian friends who are the most successful naturally do this. And in fact, when you read this book, especially this one, it'll explain to you the natural thing. You'll be like, God damn, I do that all the time. And it'll tell you the meanings behind the natural movements and things we do. I'm like, yeah, that's what I would say. That's what I would think. That would trigger that. It'll show you no matter how cool you are, you're just another fucking bloat walking around, niggering about the town. You understand what I'm saying? Not doing much, but to become aware of it changes the game. So what they're saying is it's not something you can do to really gain power. It's something you must do. Because if you're not communicating with someone's psyche, then you're talking to their ego, and the ego changes with whatever danger or scenario is presented. So you may be dealing with somebody for a situation, but their situation, which has nothing to do with you, may change, and how they see surviving and moving forward may affect you. So to have truly control, if you're connected to their psyche, no matter where they change, or and they see you in a positive way, no matter what danger presented to them, they see you as a part of their salvation if they connect you to that aspect of their psychological well-being, which is what you should be trying to do and understand if you study. So Dark Psychology 101 is the basic study on the psychological makeup of the human being that no one sees, speaks to mouth, but everyone knows. Everyone knows. And why I like this books, it got going through the chapters, 10 chapters. Emotional manipulation. So covert emotional manipulation. How people manipulate you covertly, and you don't even know. So there's people who are locked into emotionally, or can see, because most people stupidly display their emotions, mostly through anger, mostly through revealing their trigger points. Every Black woman can be covertly and emotionally manipulated because they fucking gashed you stupid asses to be this bitch. Motherfucker. Say what? I'm a Black woman. I got Black girl magic. So they fucked you up with your ego, and you lead with with your insecure emotions. It's okay. That's another thing. They taught us that being an emotional person is something wrong with that, which is a side way of saying being feminine, or the feminine energy, there's something wrong. There's nothing wrong with being emotional if your fucking emotions are under control. The problem is our emotions are out of control. And that's why there's a problem with being led emotionally. Being led emotionally is a problem. But as I'm pointing to you out now, being led with your fucking mind is a problem too. So Mr. Deep Thinker, masculine, don't be emotional, think with your mind. Dark Psychology 101, they don't emphasize that because, again, as I pointed out, is used by the most powerful influence in the world's ever known. So politics, all of that, are using dark psychology to manipulate you by telling you emotional manipulation is fucked up. Women are too emotional. So that's another way of saying they're fucked up. That's bullshit. What they did was bring out your insecure emotions and have you lead with that, Black woman. That's straight out of Willie Lynch. I don't need no man. You don't need that. Let a nigga say, go ahead. All that shit with Medea, that's an insecure woman. Most secure women, like perhaps your mother, grandmother, or women in your family, don't do that shit. Don't do that shit. No way. These don't do that shit. Nigga. What you say? What the? Don't do that. let me sit down and talk to you, or just talk to me directly. She doesn't have to manipulate me with dark psychology, even though in this book, there's natural things we all do. In Mind Control 101, they talked about dumb blonde mind control, a mind control that women use. We know it. There's something a woman would ask that a guy would ask the same thing, and it's like, fuck out of here. But then a woman asks, sure, I would love to go, but I don't have a car. Well, how far do you live? I would love to go, but I don't have a car. You should fuck with Uber, dog. So dark persuasion, undetected mind control. Dark persuasion is just seeing someone's insecurity and you with that they may not see. Talking, yeah, you had a rough life, dog. Yeah, my mother died. I had a stepmother. She was mean. He has already got mommy issues. So you know how to manipulate. How was your father? My father was there. Oh, did he help you? No. You already know what you're getting a climate. So now, whatever that means to you and your perspective and whatever you're trying to do it, you're taking that type of information about that person to persuade them without them knowing. Dark persuasion. Undetected mind control. Actually, what I just broke down is undetected mind control. I'll give you a perfect example. Undetected mind control is Khadijah was brought. You put your shirts where your shirts go, your shoes where your shoes go, your pants where your pants go. I'm from New York. You walk through the door, you start taking that shit off. So from the kitchen to the bedroom, socks, shirts, pants, and whatever. That shit don't happen no more. All she did was a series of rewards and punishments in her emotions when there was a shirt on the floor. So you naturally start saying, it's just easier for me to bring this shit upstairs just to smile. Now it looks like you're controlling her. I know how to get her to shut up. Just bring this shit upstairs. But actually, that's what she wanted. She's controlling you while in your mind, you think you're controlling her. It's undetected mind control. She did it with pain and pleasure, beatings and rewards. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you left your shirt downstairs again. Baby, you bring your shirt upstairs. I love you. Kissing on the cheek. So mind games, we know that in relationships, deception, which is obvious, hypnotism, which is a series of commands. Ultimately, if you go to see a hypnotist, that's what you're submitting to. You're saying, I'm going to let your commands take me because I trust you. So, i.e., that's why Khadijah is formulating her hypnotism, hypnotherapy classes, let me say. And she's done a few on me. Fucking incredible. So we've been talking. She's perfecting her technique. She's of course using me, and I see exactly what she's doing. I understand hypnotism more than I ever did at this point, based upon Khadijah taking classes, studying it, and about to roll out her hypnotherapy sessions. So you also can sign up and inquire about Khadijah's hypnotherapy sessions on August 6th. We'll have a list and she'll tell you what it entails, how she wants to get it done, how it's done. Fire. You'll get down to the bottom of shit, Akashic shit, childhood shit, why you pee crooked, why you have fibroids and your vagina is looking like Mike Tyson fuck a sparring partner. Brainwashing, of course. Y'all get it. Dark psychology goes into what brainwashing actually is, how you can eat, and all this could happen to you. He goes into something called the dark triad. I'm sure if I read it, I remember. Dark psychological seduction case studies, the light at the end of the tunnel, which is the conclusion. So I guess the last 3 chapters are his take on some of these areas. So in this book, okay, well, those who are unaware of it risk having it used against them. So if you're unaware of it, you risk it happening to you. Not because you're stupid, not because you're conscious or not conscious, not because you listen to Brother Panic and smoke the herb pack, but because you're unaware that it's happening. That which moves in the darkness moves in the dark. That which moves in the light is that which you know. Dark and light have nothing to do with evil or good. It has to do with known and unknown. Dark psychology is absolutely trying to say you don't know it. That's why we're calling it dark. It just becomes psychology when you know it. The person who knows it, this is just the psychological profile of the human being. And the human being that does not know better is this. So again, come on, guys, send some cash out. Keep the lights on here. $, Brother Pan. Anything will do. I do appreciate you guys. I do. It does help a lot. In this book entitled Dark Psychology 101, author Michael Pace offers a cutting-edge distillation of some of the most powerful principles in the world of dark psychology. Each chapter explains an aspect of dark psychology in a way which is understandable for the layman with no specialistic scientific knowledge. So this book is for someone who didn't, it's for the layman. It's for the person starting out in the game, and it's actually really good for a person who has studied before. So without any scientific knowledge, ideas are illustrated with examples to make the task of understanding dark psychology even easier. In addition, the book contains case studies and useful profiles on the types of people who make use of this black magic in their everyday lives. So he also explains the climate of how this can be used in everyday lives. And notice he calls it black magic, because black magic, again, has nothing to do with evil. It has everything to do with manipulation of people, reality, and including your own, without a face on the explanation until you give it one. So until you give it one, there's a generic name of magic. Once you give it a face or a name in a understanding, it becomes science. You understand? Science is that which you understand. Magic is the science you don't understand. So magic is a name white people came up with for not understanding this. Your genius, black, feminine, and masculine mind. Magic. So magic or dark magic is nothing but dark sciences or light sciences, if there's such a thing, because niggas are stupid on that one too. Until it becomes science, meaning in your understanding, is no longer magic. It's magic to pull a rabbit out of the hat until you understand the rabbit was already in the hat. It's magic to see someone disappear out of a box until someone shows you the escape door and them escaping underneath the stage. It's no longer magic. It's the answer. So you will also be shown how you can apply the principles of dark psychology if you choose to. So he'll show you how to do techniques of your own. Please, and then of course, to make it scarier, this is what they do. Please be warned, this book is not for the faint of heart or for the weak-minded. Once you have lifted the curtain of the world of dark psychology, there's no going back. Now, he's right about that. You will have an understanding of the human nature that very few have obtained. With great power comes responsibility. That's actually not a cuckoo warning, but a okay warning about what will happen. You will see this world in a whole reality that will fuck you up. You will see people's weak agendas. You will see people who actually, you're going to be like, damn, this nigga don't even respect me. He's trying to get me on that shit. Because you know how we were with our moms. God damn, boy, oh boy, if I only had $5, because our mama, boy, you'd be like, yeah, man, our mama, actually, I got $5 to be mama buddies. And you be like, damn, that was weak. But then you'll see people going deeper. You'll see people, it's in their nature. It's how they found something that works, and they don't know it by name, or to call it a subject as dark psychology, but they do it. And you'll find that is a big deal. And often, like, wow. You be like, that motherfucker, all these motherfuckers be doing this shit. And as a form of basic communication. So dark psychology is, especially the one by Michael Pace, is for, no, you can't pay via Cash App for both. S North. I don't even need to bring. No, let me just say it. I can't keep up with fucking PayPal shit. We trying to keep up with that. Organization is the key at the very least for me, because this, as I went through a whole spiel, is very unorganized, very hard to keep up with. You start just paying me Cash App money. No. Go to my website. Either come August 6th or buy it on the website. That's the only way. If you Cash App me for a book, I'm just going to say thank you. So don't do that. It's too confusing. I won't be able to keep up with it. And like I said, we're trying to keep the books to go in the bin, and we get fed through one system. The more systems we use, the more confusing it is. So fucking just pay attention. Somebody just said, where on August 6th? It is 5380 East Mountain Street in Stone Mountain, GA, 30083. You can go to 5380studios.com to find out more about the location. So 5380 East Mountain Street, Stone Mountain, Georgia, 30083 on August 6th. The live book signing. 7 Laws of Power. How many pages? We got 582 pages. Right here. I'll have boxes and boxes and boxes of these. We'll run out of niggas before we run out of how many of these are sitting in my garage. And I just ordered much more. I'll also have a grip of these. Not as many, it's too many to carry, but I'll have these in the building as well. So you'll be able to get both of these puppies live August 6th, $25 to get in. The flyers online, 5380 East Mountain Street. Plenty of parking, plenty of hotels. On August 7th, those who are able to stay another day at the book signing, sign up for joint consultations with me and Khadijah. We'll put you on the schedule for the next day, Sunday, August 7th, to have an hour joint session in a hotel. And that's what we do. Or 45 minutes. Khadijah will let you know the details if you want to do that. So August 6th, 5380 East Mountain Street, Stone Mountain, GA, 30083. That should be clear, my niggers. All right. Here's another little trick that I figured out. I'm going to talk about, I have a lecture soon, so I'm going to get into more detail. So there's things I want to skip here because I'm looking at points that I want to bring up. But there's things I'm going to do an actual lecture actual presentation soon, besides live. And again, those who can, Cash App a brother, $ Brother Pan, make my day go right. I want to talk about gaming. Not even your PlayStation or your Xbox, which is actually programming within itself as well. We'll take like Grand Theft Auto and we'll take Call of Duty, probably the most popular, and the sports games. The sports games only reinforce what sports were doing in the first place. Sports in terms of its goal for keeping you occupied, keeping you to live vicariously through the player. Our team, us, wearing the whole outfit. There was this motherfucker that used to wear a whole Falcons everyday outfit. T-shirts, he had Falcon sneakers, cheap shit too. Cheap shit. Cheap souvenir shit. But he's wearing this shit every day like it's his team. Then they have the stadium, the Benz Stadium that they built. We had some company, some family members. So they wanted to go. We went with them. It's the most boringest tour I could think of if you're not into sports. You run the field and all the rest of that shit. So, any sports fan would love it. As soon as I seen that nigga, I went on that motherfucker like 5-6 times. And I'm sitting there like, God damn, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could just go on. So his whole life is connected to this. So to be able to play in a game, Madden and all the rest of that shit, that's obvious. That only reinforces what it is. Now, when you have a kid playing Call of Duty, all it is one great advertisement for the United States service. So it puts, just like Grand Theft, in your mind. Well, before I get to Grand Theft, let's just stick with this. We look at those cheesy army commercials. Be all you could be great, you could be special. And we think that's the bulk of it. Or some recruiter, come here, son, come here, son, come here, son. That's the bulk of how they get you. This is the fucking US military. You think that's where they stop in terms of their mind control to hook you in? Most white boys get hooked in on the Call of Duty. The perfect mindset was revealed in the Tom Cruise movie, Born on the 4th of July, which was an excellent movie. Let's get a picture here. Which was an excellent movie about mind control, this false sense of patriotism based upon a book, a real book. It wasn't just a story. This guy was gung-ho to serve his country. Young youth, fresh out of, and they made a point, just barely got a first kiss. I don't even know if he got some pussy or whatever. I can't remember if he fucked her or not. Maybe got some, which is even worse, to get a taste of it. Goes to Vietnam, gets his nuts blown off, comes home and has to deal with that reality to see how nothing here made anything better for him, his philosophy. Shit just went on, but your nuts are in Vietnam. And that's the story of him. And that's pretty much the story of the story if you talk to any Vietnam vet or a vet, period, and especially Vietnam. When my father was a Vietnam vet, and I know what they did for him firsthand, or lack of, emotionally, so on and so forth. And then there's things my cousins told me that I didn't know. I was just too young, about how he could not sleep without a gun under his pillow. I didn't know all that shit. I remember he used to tell me things like he's always flinching at the trees because he's always seeing somebody in there. I remember him telling me, and it being heartfelt, that how they just have to just be ordered just to spray a field. And he says they spray in the field, you just hitting everything. Cows, He said, just shit is just laying down. He said, old ladies is getting popped just to clear the field. I'm like, damn. So now I can understand he really needed somebody to talk to about that shit. He thinks he's telling his son, but I was actually a teen. I didn't really give a fuck. I'm seeing killing on TV, and we not even at the video game yet. Just the killing on TV. I was already in the 80s numb to it. So now we fast forward to these video games. You're numb to this level of killing, to objectives. You're learning constantly over objectives. Therefore, if you find yourself in the military, either by some future force or whatever reason, Ukraine, and you just have to pick up a gun, you have been programmed as a kid with just listening to objectives without thinking about you're actually going in this game to kill people. Desensitized, that's right, is the word. It's desensitizing you, but not only is it desensitizing you, it's programming you for war tactic. So say Sumi, as I just got finished telling you, without trying to use the buzzword to figure me out or figure it out, because you don't have to say it. Listen, I told you in the 80s I was desensitized when my father was telling me about just 20 years before when he was in Vietnam. I didn't give a fuck. I was used to hearing jail stories, niggas getting knocked out, seeing Mr. T with that attitude on the A-team, who even though he didn't kill you, you didn't fuck with T because he would kill you, or you felt it. But he also played Clover Lane. What's your prediction for the fight? Pain. You felt that he could kill you. You felt that he was a real nigga. You understand what I'm saying? You wanted to see it. Not to mention with what you seen on the street. We were already desensitized. The news, whatever means we had. Because if we were on level 2, level 3 is desensitized. So now we may be at level 10, but level 3 was a big deal in the 80s. So desensitizing you was always the correct, because you could be manipulated by being desensitized. So the level of desensitized, let's expand on it. Because we already know you're fucking desensitized. That's why you can and interested in playing the game. Fuck desensitized. The question becomes, were you ever fucking sensitive, stupid? What system did you have besides that which was in your heart that made you sensitive? And you're already out of that before you even realize the sensation called sensitivity or desensitivity. See, my granddaughter's very sensitive now, but she's very fucked up now too. In playing, she'll be smacking grandpa. Don't smack grandpa. Then she'll pick some hair when you're coughing. So is she sensitive or desensitized? She doesn't know yet. It's up to you to stimulate those sensitive behaviors. But how could you? Don't take my word for it, and don't get to video games. Sit down and watch Netflix Kids and see what they watching. Very hostile. That one squirrel trying to get that nut for all these years, nut job or screw job or ice age, whatever the fuck that was, is hostile shit. It's like the Lion King with his death. What's that one with Chris Tucker and they the animals? They deal with abandonment and death. The lion gets taken, they get taken away from his parents, brought to a zoo in New York, Madagascar. I was like, God damn, this shit is sad. There was a couple of things that we was watching. We was like, God damn. Because now when she's here, we just turn it on and been watching like, God damn, whoa, this is really intense. You know what I'm saying? So it shows them, or it starts preparing them in their psyche, even through the cartoon before. But let's go back to our age. Daffy Duck and Bugs were violent. motherfucking Tom and Jerry are savage. And then they used classical music, which is Moorish music, in conjunction with the violence, when the Moorish music was supposed to calm the savage beast. Every episode, heads exploding, heads coming off, niggas getting stabbed and shot up, beat up. Tom and Jerry had no love. The spoof of that on The Simpsons was Itchy and Scratchy. So desensitized, were you ever sensitive, nigger? Is the question. Right, the Tasmanian devil, talking about the people of Tasmania in Australia. Did you know they used to call them Tasmanian devils? Talking about the indigenous people of Australia. You following what I'm saying? On there's a disclaimer now on Disney for the Jungle Book. Maugi depicts people and characters in stereotypical ways at a certain time and blah, blah, blah. Shit's all fucked up now. You know what I'm saying? All them Disney movies was kind of rough. Not the childish ones. The Apple Dumpling Gang. I was scared, though I wanted to see what was the Escape from Witch Mountain and Return to Witch Mountain. These were fucking kids that were taken away from their parents, trying to find them the whole time. And all these mean and sinister people. Now you just laugh at that shit. But when you little, I was going through it. You know what I'm saying? This shit was serious. So desensitized, the question was you ever really sensitive? You know what I'm saying? It's not like you were sensitive people. You seen something and all of a sudden got mean. You never was shit. From day one, you're always fighting your manners. And your manners are only dictated so you don't become a spectacle. But you don't give a fuck about the person at the store. Are you sensitive to the person that standing in front of the store when you walk by, you got some change, I ain't eating 3 days? Go get a job, Oscar the Grouch. You were desensitized, as Dave Chappelle told you. Why do you step over homeless people on the street, huh? Because they showed you Oscar the Grouch on Sesame Street. You don't give a fuck about a nigga living in a garbage can. Get it together, Grouch. How come that man is homeless? He hasn't eaten. And people aren't saying that, he's a grouch. Fucking grouch. You understand? So you're not, those things don't let you get to be compassionate and sensitive. Forget desensitized. You don't even build enough sensitivity in this world. When you're young, it is about you. You don't know any better. Everything's about my granddaughter. Give me now, mine now. I want it and cries. You start to sensitize them to other people's needs and agendas. Not right now, sweetie. Can't do it right now. We'll get it after dinner. You can't eat 4 cookies. You can eat 2. And they stop pouting and they start learning that's the way it is. So they're not really sensitive because they still want the 4 cookies. But manners and consequences keep them in check. When you grow up, you start saying, now I get why my mother showed me manners and consequences. My father showed me manners and consequences. So I can see the other person's story ultimately, i.e., become sensitive to the next man's plight. To desensitize myself is not to give a fuck. So these things don't allow you to be sensitive in the first place. And you don't grow that compassion because people are just throwaways. And we haven't even gotten to Grand Theft Auto yet. So for the person who has the mindset of the military, which is usually the poor white trash, the Proud Boys. That's why it's easy to get them on names like that, the Proud Boys and the Patriots, because they have nothing. So when they give this false history of how brave, and that's what we're going to talk about. Let me write that down. in my next lecture, I want to write this point, history of, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. All right. When they give out this false and fake history, white patriotic men look the greatest. And that was also a part of why they tell the history that they do from a military standpoint with this American barefooted, two muzzle shotgun beat the British fucking army who was kicking ass all around the world, but you beat their ass. So it puts something in somebody why today they call themselves the Proud Boys. They're trying to act like they're the Minutemen of old. They want to be that. They have nothing. And the only thing they really learned in school is that, because everything that dictated reality. If there was a nigga in the school, he was the coolest one. There's a nigga in the school, he ran the sports. There's a nigga in the school, he probably was smarter. There's a nigga in the school, he fucked the white girls. And all the white girls they wanted to fuck that nigga. You understand what I'm saying? And that's a fact. And that's not even factoring in rap and cool. And if it was niggas and whites, if there was just one nigga, that would be a problem. You understand what I'm saying? So they ain't got nothing. And we know that. They'll tell you all the time, we're losing everything. They're making Little Orphan Annie over with niggers. We have nothing. We need our Little Orphan Annie. So you have this call, which Donald Trump activated in these white boys because they have no self-esteem. The true self-esteem that their fathers gave them through history was this warmonger. So if they do not do war, they have to be Minutemen or militia or ready for war constantly. If they're not going to go to Iraq, if they can't see their way, they're ready to kill your black ass because you were the one who took all the girls, took all their attention. No matter what they did, you were always the one who scored the most. Throw Panic the ball. Here's your plan, white boys. Throw him the ball. The girls, so on and so forth. And then even if they didn't experience this firsthand, everything in the media with rap music is taking over. And even if they're not with it and don't understand, which 80% of them are, country music is rap music now even. 80% of them are, they're tired of niggas in the video talking about take that, take that, take that, take that all the fucking time. You know what I'm saying? Take that, take that. They're like, the way this is going is un-Proud Boy, un-American, unpatriotic. We're the vermin. We're the invader in land that's ours, on a planet that's ours, in the cosmos that is an extension of our mind. This is an ignorance in us. This is not a separate entity doing something to us. This is our own ignorance we need to deal with. That's why I emphasize things as dark psychology, because they manipulate you with your own emotions, your own ego, and that which you don't know about yourself, not what you don't know about them. So you got these fucking fool ass niggas in front of you telling you about them all day. It ain't about them, it's about you and what you don't know. And that's what a teacher teaches a real student in this game. Anybody cheerleading how fucked up they are, and that's the extent of their message, is trying to tell you what you want, and that is dark psychology manipulation. That's the easy route. Everyone gets into consciousness because they can't stand Whitey. But then you grow up and realize he's a non-factor. He's a threat for what he is, just like mosquitoes are a threat to you in the summertime. Water bugs are a threat when it turns to fall because they want to come in for the heat. And some of you niggas got rats and roaches because you live in the project. All of those things are threats. But nevertheless, it has nothing to do with who and what you are and your agenda. Those are things you deal with, but that's not things you live your life by. Unless you're so overwhelmed, and the only way you're overwhelmed if you created that condition in your own mind. So Grand Theft Auto is for those who ain't gonna do shit. Grand Theft Auto is for black folks mostly, because it's making you insensitive to crime. So they need remember, crime is probably the number one, if not one of the number one profitable businesses in America. Everyone who's a criminal must go through a system and become profit. What the fuck? It's cheaper to send them through the jail system than it is to educate at this point. That's when you know is the country over because of COVID? No, because of that. You stupid fuck. You watching COVID and seeing the streets empty and think the country's over. But this is because you don't look at they're actually incarcerating more people to their benefit than they are educating people to their benefit. You understand? So, what would you do or what would you put out to make more profit? What about a game like Grand Theft Auto, where your unsensitive ass is further desensitized to just punching people over the head and taking what you want anywhere you want? Eluding the cops is the goal of the game. Instead of doing combat missions, you do crime missions. Crime does pay. Crime does pay. So that's the psychological message for the other half. The other half think they're law-abiding, doing justice in the world. And the other half just want to get over. Either way, it's all profit. Nigga, they're making profit, you fucking idiots. Y'all need to learn dark psychology. That's your way out. I've been telling you for years. Now that there's nobody else talking about shit that really, really matters, maybe I'm figuring you'll hear it a little bit more because there's not a lot of distractions talking about what fucking goddamn crypto you're trying to figure out next. All I see is the same information being rehashed. Fucking what fucking vegetables you need for your pineal. Motherfucking Dr. Africa already laid it down. Sadie laid it down. What, y'all gonna come and repeat that shit? People have nothing to teach. They ran out of shit. Even people, good teachers, ran out of shit. I'll do you one better. Bobby Hemming told me that day would come too. I mean, after a while, if I'm the fucking master of this, at the end of this book, I'm done. Occult philosophy is always changing. It is chaos. It's the definition of the chaos in you. Therefore, I'll always have something to talk about. That's what Bobby Hemming told me. Really, all them other things are leading up to this. But no one's ego want to say that. Everyone wants to say, why would you eat healthy? To live forever or to be able to get your body out the way to do this work? Huh? To get your body out of the way to get into this. To get into this. That's why you want to be healthy. So you can walk around and fucking show everybody how many jumping jacks you could do? Huh? Because Christians do that too. Christians eat healthy too. So I thought consciousness was better than that. Huh? What else you got? What else you got? Yoga? Nigga, all you're doing is manipulating your meat suit. That's exercise, nigga. And there's spiritual connotations on it, and it may go a long way. But if you stop there, okay, that's on you. But that's not what I'm talking about. That should be a part of something. And usually the guru of that does fine because there's always somebody who wants to learn yoga. And I think there should be a guru of that. I think there should be someone who came here just to teach yoga and do yoga. I think it's magnificent. I think you as the yoga student should want more. I think the yoga teacher, salute. The yoga student should want more because you're not going to, and maybe there's some people who just came to learn yoga. I just want more personally. So well, let me just say that. I'm talking to the people who want more. And usually it's going to end up right here. That's why they went so hard to demonize these type of images because it's the most dangerous thing to get into. If for no other reason, not because of what you know Once you get reacquainted with the understanding what you will do to them. But even more sense, once you get acquainted with the understanding, they can't do it to you anymore. And that's really more scary. Once we see them, your enemy, for who and what they are, and your enemy is not just a white face. You got to look at all them niggas in Congress who know better and differentiate between the ones who were also manipulated with another grand tenet of dark psychology called hope. Hope is probably the biggest manipulator of you niggas. That's the entire civil rights movement rests upon the shoulders of hope and the potential of what it'll be tomorrow. All they have to give you hope and take away hope. Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, take away Roe versus Wade, then give you ways to fight back for it. There's about 7 states that's going to take it away. That means chicks is going to go to another state to give it to you. Stupid, doesn't make no sense. You get Clarence Thomas talking about all these privacy acts that they could take away. One of the privacy acts that fall under it is interracial marriage. He's married to a white woman. How come he's not saying that? It's a game. It's no philosophy. It's no feeling. They're manipulating you with hope. Give you a Trump, give you an Obama. Give you a fucking Biden, then we'll see what's next. Give you a Bush, give you a Clinton. It's hope. You cried when they gave you Obama, and you cried when they gave you Trump. Do you realize whether you're crying tears of happiness or joy, the goal is to get you to cry? What if that's just the goal? So it doesn't matter if they have a bad guy or a good guy, or what we determine as a bad guy, a good guy. Bad cop and good cop exist in one room, son. Like, I see what y'all writing. Y'all ain't even following the goddamn narrative. Like, a bad cop and a good cop exist in one room. So the bad cop comes in, scares the shit out of you. And when you're nice and scared, the good cop comes in and tells you all the good shit. That's about how to save yourself. So, yeah, it plays with the hope thing, but we're talking about a bigger picture. Your hope for life, your hope for your kids, your hope for your future, your hope for America, your hope for crypto, your hope for all of that is encapsulated in the symbol of Obama, not as a good cop, bad cop. What they're doing is showing you a 2-tier system so you can argue it. So you don't argue with a good cop or a bad cop. When the bad cop comes in, you feel a certain way. So now you get to argue with that about Republicans. Oh, they're not doing this and they're doing this and they say this and they say that. Then the Democrats, you do the same thing. They're this, they're that, they're the other things, son of a bitch. And you argue and create this dynamic that goes nowhere, but you're being manipulated by the dark psychology of it all. While up front, you think you are doing something magical. Fuck. All right, let me get on this side. Oof. Oh, boy. It's blood flow. I should have brought my goddamn massager down here. Oof. All right. I'm going to get out of here soon. All right. Let's see. So, now I come to this. Here's something that... Oof. Oh, let me get that blood flowing. Sometimes I still forget I have an injury because I'll sit so long straight up now. Before I was nursing it. Now without nursing, that shit will just kick in and the blood flow will be gone and then be a sharp pain. But, working through it, baby. Working through it. All right. So now it takes us to something that I realized. The games you play on your computer, starting with Bejeweled. I would like y'all to stop fucking just randomly typing dumb shit. Listen to this. Okay? So it's time to start. Fuck yeah, stay hydrated, son. It's time to start listening. Thanks for that advice as well. Yes, I try to stay hydrated. Put up this UGG slipper. Put up my leg up for a while. All right, so let's get it like this. The games you play on your computer, starting with Bejeweled. That's right, Shark. We're about to get into some of this little sassiness. Shout out to Sassomet. He's just chilling. Shout out to Sassomet. Just looking out, making sure shit going right. All right. All right. So somebody said they've been in the Zoom lobby for 40 minutes. Why? What? Yeah, I'm lost. All right. Starting with Bejeweled. You ever notice that there's a whole game system of games with these 3-color manipulations? On Facebook, they started early out. There was all these games. Why these games? How to cook, how to do farms. And then I'm like, oh, I'm tired of this particular game, which is just a match game. Fish Tank, when I was playing, occupies your time. Then, and then they advertise for other shit. All right. So, okay, I'm gonna make sure I got my notes. They advertise for other shit. So now they were advertising this car parking game. Another game where you get a cluster of cars. That's the puzzle. You manipulate 3 colors, move the cars. Cars go in certain directions. So you could either be making it worse by blocking it in or create a combination and so on and so forth. Same scenario though. If you ever notice, it's the same game, just different icons. Same 3-color manipulation, same type of little cheats, either something that changes whatever color you need, something that blows up, something that clears out a whole line, or something that explodes all the colors of a certain type. You need all the greens to be going off the board. So Tetris, maybe early on, but Tetris wasn't really online. Bejeweled is what I'm talking about, because Bejeweled was the first, pretty much, not the first, but one of the first online. Bejeweled and Tetris were the earliest rendition of those type of puzzle games, which now dominate. You also get strategy games and games that require investing, like a farm game where your carrots will be done at this time, this one will be done. So that means you have to come back to check on your carrots, your peas, your rice, your milk, your cows. Weed games where you got to grow weed, specific strains, sell your weed, come back on time. On time. What if? Well, here's what triggered it. When I seen the card game that I'm now playing, it says, play this game to enhance your logic, calculation, or whatever. I said, oh, some shit that makes your brain smart. I said, this is the same shit. Then I said, what if all of these games, starting with Candy Crush, I'm glad. So I was just about to think of Candy Crush and I see it all in front of my face. Candy Crush being the biggest. The government was taking data on your play. The game forces you to strategize. The game forces you to have patience if you have to come back with your farm. It shows how dedicated you are, how unbreakable you are, how you think, how long it takes you to do a board before you choose to cheat, how far are you willing to go in your ego to get it done? Are you willing to pay for lives and bars and things, whatever you have to pay for to make your games? Like, what are you winning? You're getting past boards. clearly they're manipulating you to get past boards and want to get better, but you're really not doing nothing. You're really not accomplishing nothing. I'm up to like 5,000, bored 5,000. I did absolutely nothing, and I'm bored with this game, and I'm on to another one doing the same shit, and I'm up to 1,000 on that. So I'm like, you're not doing nothing. But if they were trying to get how my mind works, they fucking got it. You ever notice you have to sign in? Somebody's saying a waste of time. But are you fucking listening to what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if it's a waste of time. I'm telling you the science on what the fuck they're doing. Don't be a fucking dolt. Listen here. I told y'all to stop fucking typing. I'm gonna start changing this chat room shit. I don't need nobody to throw up fucking peace signs and all that shit and tell me how fucking great I am, or even fucking crying, laughing face that you think some shit I said was funny. Listen, they're using these games as motherfucking to study the psyche of their fucking people. It's like confession, niggas. It tells how everyone thinks. They give you the scenario in these games, which I just pointed out are the same scenarios, no matter what games they are. This is just an advanced form of Tetris, Bejeweled, and all that. A 3 matching system. They can see how you think, how you strategize. They will know if you're even a fucking threat or if you're a fucking genius. Just based upon the surveillance of these games. Remember, they ask you to sign in to YouTube. I'm sorry, to Google or Facebook to calculate or document what they tell you so your friends can play. When's the last time you asked any of your friends for anything on these games? Originally, they had you thinking this way because most of those games showed up on Facebook. All of those cooking games, all of those goddamn planting games, and it seems like it was more games that wanted you to come back. So they would see how invested you would get if they could do something and what they needed to do so you could not walk away. So much so, would you pay to continue whatever's happening here? And at the same time, this is surveillance. How do you think? They know what's created in this board, how to get out of it, and they can create a climate of this person who plays these games, who signed into Google or who signed into Facebook. They play only these types of games first and foremost. That creates a character definition of you or a profile of you. How successful are you? Within there's certain boards are timed. Certain boards there's more obstacles. There's certain boards in this that you have to free shit. There's certain boards they'll let you have to go through shit to get to shit. So it's the same things over and over, and they're trying to see what you have difficulty with because those games represent a certain way that they would define you think. So they would say that person who plays those games are good at orange, but not good at red, excels at green, but they are dangerous. Why? Because this particular board, which is for people who we say are black, who might kill, who might rise up, who will rebel, who will be this, character types through all of these fucking games. So if they're a waste of time, they're not a waste of time because we're talking about your personality. Good. If you feel they're a waste of time, then don't get into them. But don't get into them because of the knowledge you just got. Not because it's your personality or your feeling, you stupid fuck, because of what you're being told. And if it was already a waste of time and your personality didn't get you in it, believe you me, that's a personality type as well that they're looking at. What you need to do is understand why the fuck you here. We're not here to cheerlead how you feel, you fucking person. We're here to get knowledge and understand why we do what we do. So if you're not being manipulated by these games and it's a waste of time, I don't give a fuck. I don't need to know that, and you don't need to say it because your ego ain't got shit to do with this. You need to know that for you. What you fucking telling me? Because I don't care. And I'm telling you I don't care. I'm telling you the things to make your life better. So you should care about it or you should not care about it. And if you don't like it, get the fuck out of here because I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to those who want to know why and what they're doing to manipulate your fucking psyche. It's called Dark Psychology 101. So you don't need to tell me that you're not interested. The fact that you're not interested, you need to be internalizing why. If we now can figure out that they're using this as surveillance, how come you're not interested in that form of surveillance? And does that say something about you within the scheme of things? Are you better? Maybe not. Maybe the fact that you don't play says something about you as well. Because you probably do, if you signed on here, you do have a Google account and they are monitoring that. And how do you know they're monitoring that? Because that's what they ask you to sign in with those fucking games and pay them with your Google account with those games. Facebook, where gaming started, they ask you to sign in with that. They don't ask you to sign in on Snapchat. They don't ask you to sign in on Instagram. Why? This is surveillance. They're giving a climate for how you think and if you are even a threat. So we know they do that based upon what you post. Confession is Facebook. Mine included. You look at it, you'll see from the day it started to now, everything we did, including the goddamn food we ate. That nigga had fucking vegetarian ribs on 7/24/2014. They know, and this is all surveillance. These games are surveillance too. Those little games you pay. Candy Crush was probably one of the most biggest surveilled games anyway, because it encompasses it all. It all. People were comparing their levels. Therefore, if their ego's in it, and once their ego is in it, you can be manipulated. So they want to see how you strategize. And like I said, anyone who has played Candy Crush would understand. The boards are generally the same. It's time, it's obstacles, it's certain things that keep repeating, but they just change it up a little bit, which means they're looking to see how you do in certain areas, or that they have a certain type where they can get data from, because there's a type that's repeating. Therefore, if there's a repeating type and they see a certain arc, a certain low, they can then compare it to that type, and with other data and your other posts, see what type of person you are. What would happen if they proposed this mind control? What would happen if they gave you Trump? What would happen if they say do Black Lives Matter? How you react based upon your gaming habits and how you think, which are displayed in these games. Grow up, niggas. Listen to what's being said to you. You ain't playing. All you motherfuckers who found all them idiots who were debating and found me because of that, you could get the fuck out now. Or you need to go back and see what I was doing. This ain't that. This ain't that. I don't give a fuck about you. I'm not in no fucking community to speak of. I don't want to save your funky ass. I give you information to save yourself, and that's as far as the love goes. Me personally, I don't give a fuck about your personal emotions. Let someone else tell you that bullshit and manipulate, because you got fucking parent issues, family issues. Let them niggas run that dark psychology on you with your fucking needs, as I told you earlier today. The shit you need, manipulate you with that bullshit. I'm not giving you what you need. I'm giving you what you're supposed to have. And it's up to you to see if you need it. Otherwise, save all that bullshit. Not me, not mine. I don't do that. I don't give a fuck if you do or you don't. If it don't apply to you, go on in. This is medicine for those who need it. I'm not here to jerk off for niggas to kiss my fucking ass. And I'm not here to kiss your ass and tell you how special you are and what community you're in. Now watch all these niggas try to talk to you raunchy. I'm telling you what you need for the betterment of you. These other niggas try to mimic me now and just yell at you. What fucking hacks? What nothing to do ass niggas. Y'all wasn't even talking none of this shit before. Now everybody got my fucking philosophy because everybody else shit failed. But then I'd rather that than nothing. Because it ain't about me and my credit. If that's what's going to take, even though it's whack-ass manipulation of my fucking philosophy, and it's not just my philosophy. I just accepted and adopted the occult philosophy, which is not mine. It's a studyable mentality about a mindset to have to study this material. Bobby Hemmett had it and passed it on to me. And I've said it probably the most aggressively in terms of the occult. And now all of a sudden everybody's philosophy is you need to do it yourself. Before they was here to save your funky ass. Now that failed, ain't no schools open, ain't no fucking centers, ain't no spaceships come down. You still feel fucked up and sick no matter how much fucking sea moss you eat. Your only way out of this motherfucker is through death, nigga, and understanding it. So busy trying to live here. You pass through this. I don't try to live on a subway system, nigga. I use it to get to a destination. You're in a chakra system, bitch. You're in a chakra system fucking creation. You're traveling now, you stupid dummy. Trying to make a house here. Once we get in the fucking metaverse, watch this shit, nigga. Only reason I'm going to metaverse is to find some hoes. Come on, Khadijah, let's go get some hoes in the metaverse. Other than that, nigga, get the fuck on. Taking yourself like a fool. I get what you need to do to entertain yourself. Cryptocurrency, make $1 out of 15 cents. You niggas are believing in that shit. And that's what's real. Y'all believe in that shit. This goddamn foolish mule shit. Tired of you dumbass chat you write about nothing. Yeah, that's why I don't eat fish sticks, Panic. I always knew in my heart. My spirit told me not to eat fish sticks. Fuck do I care? Then don't eat them. Don't eat them. Oh, yeah. Hack ass niggas. There's a lot of hack niggas now because they don't have you nothing to teach. I want you to watch that. All these niggas sitting in front of you, see if they teach you something or if they tell you something to help your ego and self-esteem. You are special, and the specialness is in you. When you choose to be special, then your specialness will show. And then they leave. Nothing. Goddamn self. You know you need you don't want to learn. You want your self-esteem appeased. You want your self-esteem appeased. Well, you know, we had 1,252 people. I guess niggas came home from work. You're going to have to get the replay on this. I don't feel too great today, and I'm really tired of it. So they will learn all your strategies, just how much money you're willing to pay for your ego. How much you're in your ego. You got to win. So you run out of lives. All the same. You ever notice all the game got the same scenario. You run out of lives, you got to wait for your life. You don't want to wait. So what does that tell a person who's watching you if you're a person that you don't want to wait? That person's impatient. That person wants to win and